show you some
Yes.
pictures? Your workers have done some work on our road. The first issue that we have is that they took our ditch on the opposite side of our road and filled
I'm
it.
sorry, which road is?
Cemetery Road.
Okay.
It's been filled up whenever they put the new pipes in. So now there's nowhere for the water to go but in our yard, and it's creating an erosion problem that's fixing to take your road out.
Can I see asbestos?
Sure.
I can see it.
Where's it at? Cemetery.
That's where the second house on there,
Coming from the
coming from
Brooklyn?
the Brooklyn Road.
Okay.
Okay.
I've approached this mayor as well as the previous mayor about the erosion problem, and I was told that it was our responsibility. So I also told them that we were gonna get some dirt and fill the ditch in, and then I was told we couldn't do that because it was the right of way of the town, and we would flood the road out. But the road's flooding out anyways. The next problem is that it's causing a hydroplane problem. People are wrecking in our front yard. You can see where they wrecked and left. So that creates a twofold problem. First, they're hydroplaning because the roads are flooded. The second is because the speed limit is not being obeyed. The county is doing all the county can do. Officer back here is always visible. Cemetery Road. The officer is always visible on our road, especially during, high traffic times. You can put a counter on our road. The kids from the school are using it as a cutoff, cutting back through. The whole community is using our road as a bypass. I'm afraid to let my son play in the front yard. I'm afraid some of these kids are gonna, be going 70 miles an hour down the road, which he's witnessed, and he's went and talked to him before. It's just not safe. I don't know if you could consider a speed bump. It'd be good for them to know the speed limit, but the sign has been laying down for 3 months.
Could I address some of those things you just talked
Well,
about?
I'm not done yet. I got one more.
Okay.
There had been some bush hog work done. This is what they did to our ditch 5 years ago, and we still haven't got it fixed. My son plays in our yard next to this. It's not safe. And that's all for me.
Okay. Think about it. Now then, I can tell you a little bit about that. The county road department redid that whole road up there. That's where all the dirt and everything's coming across. We have no control over that. But I guarantee you, I will get to the road department and get that straightened out for you.
So the road department left the sign laying on the ground?
Yes, ma'am. They took the sign up when they put those, new underground, that water pipe underground down through there from the pool. They took that whole side of the hill up and everything out there, they messed everything up. Also, they came back and, messed them up where we patched it up there, going up towards the cemetery. On the left, you see where they, there the motor grader and pushed that, a bunch of that, not field dirt, but asphalt, and they pushed it completely out too. So I'm understanding where you're coming from. I will get it.
We're gonna be left with the bill, sir, of fixing our property where it's eroded away. If we don't fix it, we've got wires exposed from the erosion just for 3 months worth.
Yeah. But I will get with the county and, see what they can do to help you out on that, and I will get back with you on that, okay?
And our ditch culvert at the bush hog,
Yes. I'll find out what happened on that.
and would the council to consider a speed bump or something on our road?
That is something that we have to get with the, Dover County. You cannot put up a speed bump, unless it's under the wheel. drastic circumstances, you cannot go out there and put up a speed.
Someone wrecked in my yard, how drastic do we have to be?
I understand that, but there's rules, I believe the attorney can explain those if they're not,
I think this is a county maintained, this is a road.
that's the old road, I think it is.
Just for a little bit of reminder, the county has maintenance obligations on those. If the town takes on maintenance, then it could be responsible for maintenance. In other words, if it puts up a speed break, then it violates the county, where they have to, our engineer, and have to decide if they can or cannot do that. It's a safety issue, I realize, and the engineer has to look at. Also, if you put a speed break, then what happens when somebody hits it and it causes them problems, then they also have some liability. But at the end of the day,
I'd rather they hit the speed bump than the sign.
but, you know, the issue is just kind of weighing the two out. But the engineer has to make the call on it because it is a county maintenance.
So in the meantime, we just stay out of our yard.
Unfortunately, they, you know, of course, I think.
We can't mow our front yard because of the traffic and the high rate of speed. The officer can't cover our road.
I'm not trying to justify all the county hasn't done it, I'm trying to tell you that this county, the town of Cameron,
So who do we have to go to?
the county engineer, the county commission. The engineer has responsibility to notify the county.
But all the other issues can be resolved within the town except for the speed issue, the erosion of the road and the culvert that was damaged and not replaced.
If you don't, I'm sorry, if you don't mind me saying, if the county is caused with an erosion issue, then they would have some.
But it was Holly Pond workers that were there, so.
I don't know that, that's why I said if. So I don't know the answer to what's happening out there, I'm just saying that there are certain responsibilities. The engineer needs to go out there and make the talk with them and see, I think that's what they're saying, whoever's caused the problem needs to resolve it.
So we're hiring county workers to do city limit jobs. Jobs within the city limits, we're hiring the county to do it.
No, it's a county.
It's a county maintained road.
County maintain road, anyway.
What are our maintenance people doing?
Well, they wouldn't be doing the road per se. All the roads that are in, like this one that comes up through here, is a county maintained.
But you never, what I'm trying to say is you don't see the county out
Yeah.
there doing it. You see the town of Holly Pond out there.
Yeah, as far as the mowing and that kind of stuff, yeah.
We can mow the small stuff like that, the large stuff, we cannot do that. The off-road stuff.
Right, but we're not asking you to mow anything. What was mowed was on our property that we maintain ourselves. We mow our yard every week. And they took a bush hog across the top of it and ripped it all to shreds and kept going.
Relative to that one, sure.
And I think too, what the mayor was saying is he can get with the county folks, and then they come out there together and look at it, and then determine what needs to be done.
Because we need to find out
Yeah.
what these lines are that
Yeah.
are exposed now.
Yeah, you need it fixed.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we'll go ahead to the meeting. Okay, committee reports, RT. Streets.
Running around checking street lights and lost time. I was late on that. I checked them tonight. I'll get them all, the rest of them checked, but I think most of the worst holes that we have been patched in the road, so.
We got 10 ton of coal mix in before last, and we'll put that in everywhere, Tahoe, get everything filled up.
But I'll get the rest of the lights and get you that tomorrow to send in.
Beautification, Lou.
I don't have anything new to report.
Safety, Paul.
Nothing, we sit back behind the Baptist church, that area back there, we said rip wrap would be the best thing for that. Probably get back to your church wall, you know, right back behind the Baptist church, where the water's coming out, like, the road no way.
middle school went in, they paved it, all the water got funneled down going under the road, and we've lost about 3, 4, 5 feet of the back end of the churchyard. It just washed away. And can't get anybody to do it. Can't, gotta do something with it or it's gonna be gone. It's within less than a foot of taking our fence out at the back of the church now.
Did, Eldon ever get back to y'all, anything on that?
Not with me, he may have somebody sent out to me.
I know the last time I talked with him over there, that he was going to, what he posed that time, if you look to come out and come back and cut that off on the far side of the ditch, away from the church right there. And I never did hear anything that time.
Who owns the, who did we say owns the property? I mean, I know it's a road from the church property, but
Well, I'm not really sure where the property line is between the church and the bank and the church and S&S out there. And the people at S&S, Scotty said, do whatever it needs to be done, he doesn't care. Nobody cares for the property line, they just want it fixed. I talked with people at the bank, they're pretty much, just get, you know, Robin said, just get it. Nobody's concerned about property line, just want it, because it's washing away.
yeah.
But we can't seem to get him back to do anything back.
Well, we.
That I don't know.
We cannot do anything with our backhoe is where it goes down through there to get in there, we can't do anything on that. We'll have to have a long reach to get that up, because it's, goes right straight down like that, and we can't do that.
And there is a line down there about this big, I think it's PVC or something, I'm not sure, that's broken in that ditch. And when water was running, when it it's coming off the school, going in that water line, I mean, in that line, going somewhere. And it might be going into your sewer, I don't know where it's going.
Sewer lines on the upper end.
You might look, it's right there at the corner of the line, and it's got a crack in it. And water just filling, going somewhere. It's running off there, going somewhere.
What is this? Does the school then have any responsibility for any of that? Since it's
Well,
where it's coming
after the water, after the middle school went in, that, the water just seemed to have nowhere to go, and it's just coming through there.
from? Can you answer that?
I don't know who has the responsibility of it. But we just want it fixed, we're not trying to blame anybody. You know, we just like to see it get fixed. If we
I'll
can.
check that out, because I know, Robert already told his RP both that he would, whatever they needed to do, they would help do it out here. But the problem is, we haven't got anything that we can do ourselves to alleviate the problem. And, Elrod, that was the last time I had impression, he was gonna do the job.
I think somebody has to agree who's going to finance it. Like, yes,
That's why I'm
I can
trying-
get it.
That's the point of some of these questions.
Well, and see, I don't have anything to do with the finances for the church, anything, that's up to that's another committee.
We could not, as the town, we could not do it ourselves. We couldn't do that. Now, outside contractors could come in there and do it. Elrod's an outside contractor.
Even though the water coming through the drains caused the problem, town has no responsibility.
We'll check in with that.
It's coming from school, probably.
My question, I'm
Coming
not,
under the road.
Yeah, coming, it comes across there and then across the road, but it's
I
not.
don't know when it flooded that time. It
All coming
stopped
from the
up.
school.
It's coming from this direction, I guess.
I'm not familiar with the exact spot that you're talking about, Mayor. Is this on private property and the problem is generated by a government entity with the drainage system? Is that basically it? But it's a private property
Yeah. Well, it's on the
location?
church's property is private. The other side is private property too. And we couldn't get in there with our backhoe, we could help do anything there. That's why we thought that, Elrod was gonna take care of the problem.
I think it come down to didn't know who was gonna pay for
Who's
it.
gonna pay for it?
That was,
I don't know who's paying me for it.
yeah, that was my question. If it's on private property, then the town, in my opinion, should have no responsibility to do that unless it's the town drainage system that's causing it.
Yes.
Pretty much states the law as it is.
Yeah. I watched Judge Judy.
That was why I was trying to ask you, if the water itself is coming from the school property and causing damage across the road somewhere else, do they have any responsibility for that?
It's a convoluted answer.
Should need to
There are some issues and circumstances that we cause, but we're simply, if the water is going to where it would have gone anyway, because that's the natural flow of the land, it's illegal for the town to go on and repair. So what we have to do is be positive that it is a town responsibility, in other words, if we diverted the water or something that we cause, otherwise it's illegal for us to go on private property. You can't spend public money on private property.
And it's just like I asked the last meeting, is there anything the town could do? To help us out?
We will get together with our lawyers and see what we can do to got safety out of the way. Good and all.
Yeah.
Okay. Park, Michelle.
Okay, Parish Fence Company fixed the fence and the gate, and now they're having to work to fix another gate because we've had people coming on the baseball field doing donuts and turning up the fence out there. So we've got that in the works, toilet paper, soap dispensers, paper towels, all that's put up and purchased. Insurance for the park has been purchased, concession stand, food has been purchased, Pepsi, had come out today and I met them over there. And got all of our Pepsis and Cokes and everything ready. Then we have our concession stand workers that are ready to go. Jerseys have been bought and, all of the kids have their jerseys. The fields have been cleaned up. We had a lot of dads and Josh, got the fields up and looking good. And we have had people that are coming into the park and tearing up things or tearing things down because they put up a temporary fence on Saturday and it was torn down on Sunday. So we're trying to get the park a curfew and keep some of this from going on at the park. Trying to think if there's anything else. The lights, a lot of the lights are fixed and we're waiting on parts on what? How many? A couple of lights that had to have extra parts.
Those lights, we're through with that. We cannot, we'll have to do it this next year because we'll have to take the whole thing off the pole. Get it done. There's two on one side, that everything was burned up on it, and it had to go and stop, but we did put up 27 new lights on the ball field up there, and it's well lit up now.
And then the four-wheeler, it's,
Got the four-wheeler back today, basically got it fixed for us, and, I told Josh today that, or if anybody wants to use it up there, they have to turn the gas on, it's got an on and off switch. If you don't turn it off when you stop, the gas will run over the oil and the whole thing will go again. That right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're getting that straightened out.
okay. I think that's,
And would you, go ahead and tell them about your long-term plans? We
okay.
look at things down the road, what we want to do, and strive to do something better for the community and the park up here. And Michelle, give you a little idea of what we're talking about right now.
Okay, some of them that I went on a bigger list after we talked, but I'll try not to get too crazy. The press boxes, once I did start looking at them, they have tons of dry rot, the doors are torn up, the frames are torn up, there's pressed wood in those, and what I started thinking, instead of trying to redo those, it might just be better to take them down, do something small to where it does have an awning over it, and just a couple of people, maybe a bench for 4 people to keep score, and somebody that's keeping the official scorebook, and that also will alleviate other people trying to get up in there while somebody's trying to actually keep score. Another thing that I thought about for long-term for the concession stand is trying to get a slush or an ice cream machine in there to just make, a draw to our concession stand. This year, we're also gonna do pizza, from Lou, and hopefully get some Jack's hamburgers in there to sell. Another thing that I had thought about as a long-term goal is have movie night in the park, just on a projector, and open the concession stand during, of course, the movie nights. And then, let's see. Also, we haven't been opening the concession stand during practices, which it lasts a month. So if we can next year, open a concession stand to generate some revenue for the park. And then toward the back, I had thought about, as far as some of the privet hedges and things back there, just getting some of that cleaned up and cleaned out. Mainly because there are so many kids that things like that, I don't know if everybody else thinks like me, but lurkers. There's so many kids around, and you've got people that can come in through the back, and you can't see them as far as visibility. And it's just a place where people can hide, I guess. And just more lighting around the track. We had talked about that a little bit anyway. And I guess that's about it.
Okay. On our sewer system, I've not heard back from Glad on the time frame they're looking at to get started on the rerouting the sewer system. But hopefully it'll be soon. We need to go ahead, weather's going to get right shortly, and we'll be able to get things done. Anybody else have anything?
I do have a question. As far as like when our audience was having the chance to talk
Yes.
about, as far as us not knowing exactly what is going through on the financials, I was thinking if we could get the financials up there just so we do know what's going through and what we're accepting, because I didn't realize if I'm accepting that, then I'm liable for everything that went through, and then I really don't know what went through. So if we need to.
I will allude to the rest of it right there. Starting next month, we will have a work session, either the Thursday before meeting or come early at that meeting day. Like we get up there we start at 7. If we did it the same day, we would start at 6 o'clock. But we gotta work it out with council and see what hours they want to do that like that. That way, we'll have a chance to, look over the bills and other things that we're looking at too before we have our meetings. Be aware of it, and have everything in order,
And I'll bring the part, everything. I've got it tonight, but if anybody wants to look at it, they're welcome to.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
On work sessions, when they open to the public.
What?
Work sessions open to the public.
Yes.
I got a question. On the bid, what is the minimum amount of bid that you go to before you take bids? How much?
7,500.
7,500? Oh,
Unless public works, and it's 50,000. But that's doing buildings.
so just buying supplies, it's 7,500.
Do what?
I mean, 7,500 if you're just buying supplies before you have to get if I could take a look at it or whatever. To take in bids for a price, it has to be 7,500. Is that what he's saying?
At one time, I think it's what is.
Yeah, like if you were going to buy
A
kids'
purchase
board
for
days like you're talking about,
$75.
and you were you don't price shop until you get to how much? Is it 75?
Well, that's a different question now. Yeah. What's required is a legal bid is different than price shopping. You may know the difference, but to make a legal bid, you have to do certain publications and notifications, et cetera. But anytime, with any amount that calls can be made, price shopping per se can be had. But to make an official public, bid, then it's under $7,500 for a
It's like if the town was gonna purchase a tractor or something like that, and it was gonna be in the over 7,500, whatever they would cost. Then you would have to, legally, by law, you have to get bids.
That's what we did when we bought that
Yeah.
John Deere, because we looked at, 3 different tractors, and that was one of the best deals out there.
But under that amount, you not even get a price, do you?
Well, you can, it's not required to formally bid it, so, I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just asking them, but y'all don't bother just to get things priced before you have it done?
Oh, yeah. We looked at price.
So y'all knew y'all was paying $10 to build that fine straw before you got it?
We done been through that one now.
Would there be any way?
Is anybody else amazed?
Hey, I said, one person talked at a time, any more outbursts, and we will all shut the door. We done been over that one time, you had your chance to talk, that's it.
Would there be any way you could post, like if you're buying stuff, where somebody could give you a price offer? Like if you say you're gonna need so-and-so for next month, then you post it or something? This year, I don't even have a following in the game, but I was just curious why. Yeah.
Usually when we buy stuff, it's, not for a short period of time, we try to get enough to do what we're doing for that spring or that summer. Then we come in the wintertime and winterize all the things too. That's all. The motion to dismiss.
Well, before we dismiss, one thing that may, that I think, the items that we're gonna use every year, like the roundups, and I don't know what all that is, if we had a list of those things and gave these folks, these are the items that we're gonna purchase at some point during this year, can you give us a price on these? I mean, that would be,
That's what I was talking about earlier, that this year is
yeah,
gone.
yeah, I know it's
We can set
important.
it up where, if y'all wanna bid on stuff like that, we could set it up where y'all could bid on it.
Well, if we just had a
Yeah,
price,
We asked that last night.
yeah, if we just had a price, I mean,
Before this was on.
you know, if we had if we gave you guys a list, we're gonna buy so much, or we're gonna anticipate we'll use Roundup and, I don't know what all of it is, and didn't have prices back, then
Absolutely.
select that, I mean, that would seem like a reasonable thing to do as far as,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I can see too, if you get down into the, like, supplies for the concession stand, well, we're gonna use toilet paper, I mean, you really don't want to, I mean, you know what I'm saying, you don't wanna go from one place to the other on how much is a roll of toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? So you've got to use some discretion about those things, but things, receipt things you're gonna use, like Roundup and stuff like that, would seem to be reasonable to say, hey, then let you guys provide, this is what we'll do this for. Does that sound
Yes,
reasonable?
yeah, absolutely. That's what we're asking for, is to be able to process those. I mean, I can tell you, I can show you, that I can beat their price by far.
We'll work with y'all, work with anybody. That's what the council wants to do, we'll work, set it up, and go with it.
And y'all have to make a motion to do that?
No, that's exactly what I said last week.
Council will have to agree what we're gonna do, I'll set it up, we'll have, our lawyer also working with us to make sure we do it right, do it equal, and what we do, make sure everything's right.
Michelle, they get that bathroom fixed?
the door and all that stuff,
The doors fixed.
and toilet paper rolls hung up and stuff.
At this time, I think I see the sheriff back there. Would you like to say a word for us now? Can I say something for you?
No, I'm good.